There are two myths about meditation that will destroy your practice before you even start. They represent two extremes. On the one hand, you have the most cited reason for people either not taking up meditation in the first place or very, very quickly giving it up. And it's the fear of the lotus position. And you would be forgiven for thinking that you have to sit in lotus position in order to meditate. Any search on the internet for guidance will reveal video after video, photograph after photograph of what appears to be perfectly healthy people, all of whom appear to be suffering from the same lower limb injury. Now this approach, this obsession with the lotus position is entirely unhelpful and gives exactly the wrong impression of meditation. On the other extreme, the other side, you have the you can sit in to meditate sitting on the couch brigade. Usually these people are selling some form of guided meditation. Obviously they don't practice themselves very much. The problem with just sitting on a couch or having a very lax attitude to meditation position, it encourages you to fall into a hypnotic trance or just fall asleep. And as true meditation is entirely focused on penetrating to the heart of reality, obviously both of these positions are not very helpful. In today's video, we will examine two principles that when mastered will allow you to meditate successfully anywhere and at any time. The important thing that you have to remember is that just because you're not sitting in a lotus position or a half-lotus position doesn't mean to say that you're not meditating correctly. Having said that, what is important for you to understand is 2 points about the classical position that are vital to understand, because once you understand these 2 points, you can basically meditate in any position, on the loo, in your car, on a chair, or sitting down. Now, if you go to study in a monastery or at a Zen center, you'll probably learn to meditate using a cushion like this. This is a zafu cushion. You use the zafu cushion if you're sitting in a lotus or half-lotus position. The most popular way for most experienced meditators in the West is to use a Cesar bench like this. Both of these, both of these tools have one thing in common. They are designed to slightly lift your tailbone so that the pelvis is slightly tipped forward. Let me show you what I mean. If you use the zafu, the idea is to sit your tailbone just on the edge of the cushion. So we sit like this, and the pelvis is tipped slightly forward and down. Let me do that to the side to give you a better shot. This is the position. To the side. Now, if we sit using the Cesar, which is a kneeling position, we achieve exactly the same effect, that the pelvis is tipped slightly forward. And the reason for this is that if you're sitting for long periods of time, for the 28-day challenge, it doesn't matter. If you're just sitting for 10 minutes, it's not really a problem. But if you're sitting more than sort of 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, it's a good idea to have the pelvis in the right position, and this way it stops strain on your gluteus maximus on your lower back and giving you backache. Now, the second important thing comes from the correct position of the hips. The vertebrae need to feel as though they are balanced one on top of the other. It's imagine that you're sitting in front of the headmaster or a judge. You're sitting to attention with the spine entirely vertical. It's normal to rock to the front and back, to the left and the right, to just find that central position. Now, this is using the classical position for César. For the 28-day challenge, as I've said, you won't be using this. You'll basically be using whatever is available to you. As you go through the levels 2 to 4, excuse our dog. As you go through levels 2 through 4, you might find that you want to invest in a more classical setup for your practice. The important thing to take away is that we can apply those 2 important points to using a chair. Now, you can use any dining room or kitchen chair, and in order to create the same effect, you just need to put a towel, rolled up a towel at the back of the chair, and you can put your tailbone just on the edge of that towel, your feet nice and flat on the floor with the spine erect. Now you're applying those 2 principles to just using a chair, and it's perfectly acceptable to use a chair for your meditation practice. Now, some people may feel more comfortable if they use a small cushion in the smaller of the back, and it's perfectly acceptable to do that. Now, we'll assume that you're using a chair for the moment. You can apply this to a position on the loo or in your car. There's no reason why you can't do that. So, placing the left hand, if you're right-handed, the left hand over the right hand, making sure that the spine is erect and that the head is nicely balanced on the shoulders, and you bring your eyes to look just towards the tip of the nose. Try not to cross your eyes, but you're dropping your eyes and you're just bringing your lids down. If you close your eyes, you'll go off into dreamland, or you could fall asleep. If you have your eyes open, there's too much information coming in, and it's going to be very, very hard for you to concentrate. So you're just almost closing the eyes. So that is basically the position of using the chair to apply the important points from the classical position. Again, just as a final demonstration, before we move on, you can obviously apply the same idea if all you've got is the edge of a curb. You could even do exactly the same thing. You're just lifting the tailbone slightly higher than at the back, so that the pelvis is slightly tipped forward. The truth is, there's nothing special about meditation. In fact, on its own, it's quite useless. You need to let go of everything you think you know about meditation and just practice. With a bit of ingenuity, you'll be able to apply these two principles of stability and spine position to cover most situations. With a bit of experimentation, you'll be able to practice pretty much anywhere and at any time. If you've enjoyed this video, consider taking our free 28-day challenge. Within the challenge, you get a complete step-by-step beginner's guide to meditation. More important than that, you get the community which helps you bring your meditation practice into your everyday life, and that is really what it's all about. Keep safe. See you next time.